Chapter 10, Life Balance, Harmony of Work, Family and Growth, The Art of Attention. For years, I chased the myth of balance. Productivity books painted it as a perfect circle. Work, family, health, hobbies, all neat, equal, symmetrical. But my lived experience taught me something else. Balance is not static. It's a constant dance. And each day, the music changes. After going through a deep inner reset with newfound clarity and strength, I finally understood. True balance isn't about doing everything. It's about being fully present wherever you are. A priority is not a list. It's a choice. We often think our priorities are everything we've jotted down in our planner, but real priority is what you give your attention to in this exact moment. Your child doesn't read your to-do list. They read your eyes. Your partner doesn't see your self-improvement goals. They feel your emotional absence or presence. Balance begins with one realization. Everything has its time, but not all at once. Roles, not role confusion. We all carry roles. Professional, partner, parent, friend, learner, guide. The problem isn't the number of roles. The problem is not shifting between them consciously. We carry work stress into the family dinner. We try to read for growth while checking email. We become scattered and divided. My key? Containerizing attention. When I work, I am fully at work. When I walk with my loved ones, I don't check my phone. When I grow, I'm not worried about how it looks from the outside. It sounds simple, but it's a real discipline of presence. Balance is not static. It's dynamic. There are seasons when work demands more. There are times when family needs your full attention. There are days when the most valuable thing you can do is sit with a book and let yourself be a student again. I don't believe in the perfect week, but I do believe in the harmonious month. Zoom out. Look at the rhythm of your life in weeks, months, quarters. Ask yourself, did I make space for deep work? Was I truly present with those I love? Did I do something for my personal growth? Not for show, but for self? These questions anchor me, because balance isn't a schedule, it's a feeling, a center. Harmony through boundaries. Boundaries aren't about pushing others away. They're about giving yourself permission to stay whole. I've learned to say, I'm with my family right now. I'll respond tomorrow. I don't take work calls after 7 p.m. Saturday is my day of quiet and inner recharge. And guess what? The world doesn't collapse. In fact, it starts to respect your clarity. Balance comes from inner value alignment. When your values pull in opposite directions, you'll constantly feel torn between I want to succeed and I want to be home, between I work for my family and I'm drifting away from them. But when your roles are united by a shared inner mission, you stop battling yourself. You start moving in harmony. My simple formula: family is the reason, not the obstacle. Work is the tool, not the totem. Self-growth is the root, not an escape. Conclusion: managing your attention isn't about cramming everything in. It's about intentional shifts, honesty with yourself, and trust in the rhythm of life. Balance isn't enforced by control. It's born from within, as a quiet sense of harmony in your heart, body, and mind. Time and energy management in daily life. Time is the currency of life, but energy is what we trade for it. And let's be honest, most people don't have a time problem. They have an energy leak. Energy is our core asset, and balance begins there. In the previous section, we talked about the harmony of life roles. But what if you've scheduled time for family, for yourself, for your goals, and you still feel drained and disconnected? I searched for that answer for years, and I found it in a simple truth. A fulfilling life isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters without burning out. Time is not a line, it's a cycle. We were taught to plan our day like a to-do list on a sheet of paper, but our body, mind, and soul work in rhythms. We are not machines, we are biorhythms. Our attention doesn't last 10 hours straight. Our energy fluctuates. It ebbs and flows. I began asking myself, when am I most focused? When do I make my best decisions? When does my body crave silence? And then I began organizing my day not by the clock, but by waves of energy. From to-do lists to energy filters. I don't start my morning asking, what do I need to get done? I ask, what do I have the strength and clarity for right now? That shift changed everything. I no longer force myself to make tough decisions when I'm depleted. I no longer shame myself for procrastination. I interpret it as a signal. Something's off with my energy management, not my discipline. The rule of 3 priorities. Each morning, I choose 3 things that truly matter. 1 for the body, 1 for the work, 1 for the soul. If I do these three, my day has meaning. Even if the world is on fire, this simple practice freed me from the cult of constant busyness and helped me shift into living with presence. The energy window technique. We all have personal peaks of productivity. For me, it's between 8 and 11 a.m. That's my energy window. It's sacred. During that time, no meetings, no noise, no clutter, only what matters most. After 2 p.m., lighter tasks. Toward evening, recovery. When you shape your day around energy windows, you sync with yourself, and that's when rebooting becomes natural. Micro-restoration, the secret to sustainable energy. We wait for vacations to rest, but the brain and body don't operate on push until August mode. They need micro-restarts every single day. 5 minutes of silence, a short walk, a few deep, conscious breaths, a quiet glass of water, not one on the run. These are not minor. These are energy rituals that bring you back to yourself. Conclusion: don't manage time. Manage yourself in time. Conscious energy management isn't about control. It's about wisdom. It's about knowing your peaks and dips, honoring them, and building a rhythm where you don't just perform, you fully live. Burnout and exhaustion prevention. Knowing your limits. There comes a moment, sooner or later, when even the work you once loved doesn't bring joy anymore. When you wake up and feel not motivation but the weight of expectations. When you no longer strive to achieve, you just want to check out, disappear. That's burnout. And I've lived through it. Not once. So this chapter isn't theory. It's my personal reboot from the edge. Burnout isn't weakness. It's a signal. For a long time, I believed that exhaustion was part of the process, that I had to push through, grind harder, or get out of my comfort zone. But one day my body said, enough. I couldn't focus. People irritated me. Even the things that once inspired me lost all meaning. This wasn't stress. It was emotional depletion. And it stole something precious, my spark. That's when I understood burnout isn't an energy issue. It's a boundary issue. We don't burn out because we do too much. We burn out because we don't stop when we should. Early signs of burnout. Loss of interest in things that once lit you up. Persistent fatigue even after rest. Irritability, apathy, or hypersensitivity. The feeling that nothing you do is enough. Struggling to make even simple decisions. If any of these feel familiar, it's not a diagnosis. It's a wake-up call. You need boundaries. Boundaries aren't barriers. They are protection for your soul. Learning to say no was hard for me, but every time I said yes to others when I had no inner resources, I was saying no to myself. Real burnout prevention isn't about a vacation once a year. It's about ongoing respect for your inner needs. Here are a few principles that changed everything for me. 1. Limit daily tasks. No more than 3 key items. Everything else is a bonus. 2. Listen to stop signs. When I feel depleted, I pause. No justifications. I just pause. 3. Boundaries in communication. If a conversation drains me, I allow myself to end it. 4. Boundaries with information. Phone on silent after 9 p.m. isn't luxury, it's survival. 5. 1 day a week with zero productivity. Just restoration, inspiration, and life. The body speaks first. Listen to it. The first signs of burnout show up in the body. Waking up tired? That's not normal fatigue. Heart racing when checking email? That's not just work stress. Clenching your jaw daily? That's not your personality. That's your nervous system screaming, something's off. Create a recharging system. Burnout prevention isn't a one-time act. It's a system. I call it my emotional ecosystem. It includes daily micro-restorations, music, nature, movement, stillness, weekly silence day, no tasks, no plans, just being, monthly reset, a retreat, a trip, a day away, annual life inventory, what drains you, what fuels you. This isn't indulgence. It's mental maintenance. Conclusion: reboot begins when you allow yourself to stop. If you're reading this and thinking, this is me, then give yourself permission to not run another mile without water. Your reboot doesn't begin with new goals, but with a new relationship to yourself.